No. Oh gosh, I was like, I don't have my earrings on. Hello, family. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry about the mix up on yesterday. I put the wrong date in and the wrong time. So please forgive me. It is show week. I'll be back to normal next week. Um, your girl is all over the place, but I got here. I got here. Thank you all for joining me. How are you guys doing? How are you guys? Hey, Denard. How are you? How are you? Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Anissa. Thank you. Thank you so much, Indy. Hey, Miss Gigi. Hey, Black Lavender. Black Lavender said, did y'all see on Instagram how Michael got his family involved in running a drug operation? Oh, yes, I just saw that. I just saw that. But I'm not surprised. No shade. Michael from Love at the Lockup, his family looked like they would do something like that. No shade. Just, if you want to judge a book by its cover, let's go. Sorry. Come on. Oh, the baby. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. No, she's not, Mom. Mom, no, she's not. No, she's not. I just went in there. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Come on in the room. Sorry about the distraction. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? You guys know I do it a little soft because my neighbor just had a baby. I don't want to wake the baby up, and I'm distracted because the peanut gallery does not respect my Star family time. How are y'all? Oh, my neighbor. So when I do these, like, that's why I kind of do them in the evening. But when I do them during the day, I respect the baby's nap time. Hey, Al Boogie, how are you? Thank you for being here while working. Arrowhead, y'all changed the formula. As soon as I get my coins back up, I'm going back to Fiji. I love me some Fiji, but I couldn't maintain her. But I'm going back. I'll just scrape up the coins and do what I have to do because Arrowhead is not doing it. Hey, Anario. I'm doing great. Thank you. Your Roots Cassette, congratulations on the bookings. My first live in months. I got here before the music even started. Oh, thank you so much for being here, your Roots Cup. Alex V said, Nikki looking gorgeous per usual. Thank you. Hey, Spency. Spency said, hey, Nikki.Star and family. Girl, I can't wait till you have to say about TOW. What is TOW? Not The Bachelor. Not 90 Day Fiance. What else am I talking about in this? The Bachelor, Love at the Lockup, Drag Race. What is TOW, Spency? What is TOW? Oh, we got somebody here from Saudi Arabia. Hi, Samaya. How are you? Hey, Megan. Listen, girl. I know I'm doing my best. You're gonna get sick of me next week. You're gonna be like, Nikki, another live, and then I gotta disappear again. It's the life. I'm telling you, Atlanta is so chill. So chill. When I come to LA, no sleep. It's what does that Lady Gaga mean? Bus, club, another club, bus, club, performance. That is my LA life. Who am I going to start with first? Let's start with Love After Lockup because we've been gone so long. Let's start off with Love After Lockup. I'm going to briefly just kind of talk about everything that we have missed together, like just important things that I wanted to talk about. Oh, 90 Day Fiance the other way. Thank you. I was like, what is Tao? Thank you guys. just because we just been gone so long, and I have not been able to get to it. And this is the thing, guys. Until I get back on the East Coast, I'm just not going to be able to do the 90, not 90, Love After Lockup on Fridays, and it's hard to do anything on Saturdays. But until like I'm back on the East Coast, I just don't know if I'll be able to do that again. Like Fridays is just not looking good. It's not looking good. But I'm going to try to see if I can get an East Coast feed of Love After Lockup. I don't know if you guys watch the show on a streaming service. Let me know which one does that, so I could be caught up with you guys. But if I'm waiting to watch it here at 9 p.m. on a Friday, I am never available at that time. So I don't know. We will see. Let me know if you guys watch it another way and where I can get an East Coast feed that won't block me. I'm still bitter about Love Island UK. I'm like watching it through Twitter. Like whenever somebody posts something, that's how I watch it, because the link I had, they blocked me. Sad, and it seems like it's a really good season. Anyway, one day I'll get a VPN, whatever it's called. Anyway, let's start off with Love After Lockup. This is such a good season. They really did a good job with the casting this season for Love After Lockup. They're really, really good. And it seems like we're going to see a lot of these couples. We're going to see a lot of these couples in life after lockup, which is smart because they really did a good season. I felt like it feels like this season of Love After Lockup is like the older seasons, a bit more nostalgic. The couples seem to be a bit more real and a bit more bizarre, and that's what works for Love After Lockup. So I'm with it. What I'm not with is Gabby and Chris. I'm so glad that their story wrapped up on this episode, just because since that video was released of Chris, pulverizing, can we be real? Gabby, I just haven't felt comfortable talking about them. I really, really haven't. And, and this couple is also extremely toxic. They both are violent. They're just not enjoyable to watch. It's just, I'm just glad. I'm just glad that they are just wrapped up. They're just a really toxic couple. And I thank you to everybody who sent me the interview of Chris's mother talking about, giving her son's side of the story, because he is now currently locked up for beating up Gabby. I heard, what the mother said. And of course, a mother's always going to protect their child. I heard what Gabby said. Gabby is toxic as well. It's not that I don't know who to believe. I'm choosing to just move on from the both of them. They were like, this show is messy. It don't have to be dark. And I just felt like Gabby and Chris just made this show very, very dark. I didn't like how either one of them treated each other. I just felt like they were just a toxic combination that was never going to work. And I think, to be honest, the both of them need some kind of therapy. Gabby needs some anger management therapy. Obviously, Chris needs that as well. But they were just not, I don't think they were a good fit for this show. In the beginning, yes, because it did seem like they had a really good storyline, but they just got a bit too toxic for reality TV, in my opinion. So glad that we won't be seeing those two on our TV screens anymore. I will say, off topic, I was a little shocked by where Gabby lived. I was just like, you said that you had all of this money that you got from Chris. Why were you living in this? No shade to Section 8, it raised me, so I'm not judging. But I just was like, the way that she was always talking about her spending his money, getting this BMW, getting all of this work done, and, putting all this stuff into your body that costs thousands of dollars, saying that you spent, I think she said she spent about 40 or something $1,000 on like not reconstructive, but plastic surgery or whatever. I'm like, why didn't you put that into a down payment on a home, or maybe an apartment in a better area? Just really weird. Not only were they toxic, their stories were all over the place, because the way Gabby told that story about when she was being chased by the police, listen, are the police corrupt? Absolutely. But Gabby, I felt like you did something. Like, you know what I mean? There's just like certain people, and I'm just like, nah, you should have been locked up. You know what I mean? But abolish the police, absolutely. But with Gabby, I'm like, I don't feel like you're telling the whole story. This is the one instance where I'm like, I want to hear what the cop said. Like, I need to hear his side as well. So their stories are all over the place. They're extremely toxic. I don't think that they were a good fit for the show or for the viewers. So I'm glad that we can move on from them. They were they weren't enjoyable to watch. They were not enjoyable to watch. We are absolutely going to close out with Monique and Derek. I'm not going to them right away. So let's move on to another couple. Let's talk about Ashley and Travis. Real quick. I don't know who's the problem in this relationship yet. It feels like it's Ashley, but I feel like they're also gearing up to, give a twist on Travis when Ashley goes to stay with him and his family. But at this point, it's just all all Ashley. And I also kind of feel like she hasn't been truthful from jump, right? Because when we start, Ashley is living this lavish life. She has a booming business. And now we get to this episode. The business has gone bankrupt. She had to sell everything. They're moving to Virginia to be with Travis's family. And I'm like, how do we get here? You just had a really nice home with a really nice pool, and you were having a sort of kind of affair with your neighbor that was in love with you, but was obviously on some kind of drugs. And now you're selling everything. You only got a couple of $1,000s in. You guys are living in motels. How do we get there so quickly? Unless you were already in this situation before you started to film the show, which is what I feel like. I feel like she was already in a destitute situation before the show even started filming, because it just makes no sense that within I don't even think they filmed for more than like a month or two at this point, that everything just fell apart for you. And a month or two is being generous. A month or two is being very generous. I think she was already in that situation before Travis came home. And that's why I'm like, you know what, Travis, life is hard enough after prison. I don't think he needs to step into anything else. And I feel like he's stepping into something with her. I think Travis needs to run. I'm nervous for him. I'm nervous for him because, guys, it just did not make sense. Like, you're watching one episode and they're talking about starting their lives and how great the after prison sex is, and then the next episode she's literally moving out of her house because she's getting evicted because her landlord said that he didn't want a felon living in the home. I don't believe that, and here's why I don't believe that: because Ashley lives in Florida. I'm sorry, they're not denying felons housing if they're paying. I just don't believe that. Not in no Florida. Not in no Florida. Maybe in Connecticut, but not in Florida. So I don't believe that. I think she was not paying her bills. I think Ashley got evicted because she was not paying her bills. Oh my goodness. Is this another situation where the felon is getting scammed? Where the scammer is getting out scammed? I think that's happening. I think that's happening because even Travis was just like, I didn't know that she had any problems, let alone that it was this bad. Travis, you have met your match. You have met your match. You know what? I don't think he's met his match, because I just realized that Travis went to prison for robbing a bank and he only got $3,000. He's not that smart. He's not that smart. I think he met somebody who's smarter. I think he met somebody who's smarter. So now at this point, Ashley is spiraling because she has nothing. And now she's putting all the financial responsibility on the felon who just got out of prison for robbing a bank for $3,000. I don't know how she thinks this man is going to take care of her. And I think this happens so many times with women, especially on this show. They think that these men who are fresh out of prison can provide for them, not only provide them a life, but a better life than they lived without them. And I'm like, how does that happen? How does this man fresh out of prison give you a good life and a better life than what you had before you brought him into your world? It just doesn't make sense. So like Ashley spiraling in the pool, and she's just like, you have to figure out a way to, get us housing. I don't see this lasting long, which is probably why I have not seen them in the Life After Lockup trailer. I don't see them making it after this show. You know what? We didn't. Nathan and Skylar were not on this last episode, but I did want to talk about them because here we have another situation where the show set up Skylar as the one who was going to be absolutely problematic. And since we've met Skylar, it's been Nathan the whole time. There's something up with him, and I think he has been obsessed with her since they were kids. And I think he finally got his dream girl, but he got his dream girl fresh out of prison. She's not back on her feet yet, and I feel like with her being somebody that at least comes from a better background, not a better, but a more financially stable background than Nathan, I don't see her sticking around for much longer, especially since Nathan is showing so many red flags fresh out the gate. He's very obsessive about her. Although I think that phone call from that guy was staged, the more I watched that when Nathan and Skylar went out to dinner and the guy friend called her, the more I watched that, the more I realized that it was staged on Skylar's part. I think Skylar absolutely knew that that guy was going to call her and that it was going to be filmed. I don't think that Nathan was aware. And I think that Skylar thought that maybe Nathan was going to have like a reaction, but not that kind of reaction. Like his reaction did seem a bit over the top and a bit alarming. And I think she saw something in him that she didn't expect. I mean, she knew that it would get a reaction out of him. I don't think that she expected that reaction. And when she saw that, I saw the wheels turning. And I'm telling you, I feel like we're going to end this season with Skylar going back to her family. And I will say this, when we met Skylar, she tells us that, she's, comes from like a rich suburban family, and she had everything good and there was no problems in her life. Everything was perfect. She doesn't understand how she ended up being where she is, like how she ended up being on drugs or whatever. And I'm just like, you can have a very, a healthy, financially stable life, right? But there are other things, like money isn't everything. So like there are a lot of people who are working class, poor, impoverished, who are not on drugs, right? So the running after drugs or the going after some kind of upper or downer for whatever emotional or mental issue that somebody's having has nothing to do with having provision. It's more or less something that is going on with you, internally, that money cannot fix. So I get the show trying to set up this narrative that this good girl getting with this guy on the wrong side of the tracks, and look at how, opposites attract and how they found each other in this crazy world. But I'm just like, just because she has provision doesn't mean that her life was good. Now, it was great and it was good in the provision aspect, but there are other issues. And I think it has something to do with Skylar's mother, which is why their relationship to me seems so distant, because the way Skylar's mother talks about her and the way she talks to her is very delicate. And she's like, I feel like she's walking on eggshells when she's dealing with Skylar. And I don't think it's because she thinks that her daughter is going to run back to the addiction. I think it's because she doesn't want to discuss, and Skylar doesn't want to discuss what led her daughter to make certain decisions. That's what I'm getting. Because I'm like, if you have everything and everything is so great, why do you keep on running to this part of town to do all kinds of drugs and end up in prison multiple times? Something happened, and smart for you guys for not talking about it. Because if it's something like so tragic that would tear your family apart, absolutely don't talk about it. But don't paint this narrative that is just not believable, in my opinion. In my opinion, having said all that, Skylar is a sane one in this relationship, and I think that she needs to. I think she needs to step off and go back to the burbs, because living with this ratchet man child is just not it, sis. It is not it. You came fresh out of prison to a stressful situation with somebody who is completely obsessed with you. I wouldn't be surprised if he watches you sleep while sitting in his grandmother's rocking chair, holding one of them dolls with no eyes, just staring at you as you sleep. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. And I know you're probably at the age where you think it's cute, but mama, grow up. Because that is not cute. That's actually very dangerous. Nathan just flips for no apparent reason. He just gets an attitude. When they were at dinner, he looked at the camera, and he was basically talking to the producer, and he was like, I'm in a bad mood. Why? Y'all at dinner. Nothing had even happened at that point. So why are you in a bad mood? Why is everything setting you off so much? I think it's maybe because he's trying to appease her or maybe trying to make Skylar stay. That's not healthy, which is again why I don't think we'll see them on the Life After Lockup season. I feel like this is the end of the road for them as well. Let's go to Justine and Michael. Not surprised that Michael, that the generals in his drug dynasty was his family. That sister looks like she, be trapping, if we're going to be real. And Justine looks like, she already knew what the situation was. The whole family, even the dad. I feel like the dad probably showed Michael the ropes. You know what I mean? I feel like that whole family. I'm not shocked that the whole family got locked up. I am shocked that they can all be together though, right? Because how was Michael, fresh out of prison, able to congregate with other felons, especially felons that he got busted with? I don't know. But I mean, he's able to do it. I don't know how, but he's able to do it. I'm not surprised that the whole family was in on it. I felt like we can all see it. We didn't want to judge. And when we got the proof, nobody was shocked. I don't think that anybody who saw the mugshots of Michael and his family, I don't think anybody was like, oh, wow. I think everybody went, you know what? That makes sense. So I feel the same way with Justine, because Justine is playing this very innocent, I don't know anything that he does, like last season when she was, going to the dealership to make sure that Michael got her car legitimately. And I'm like, that's the game you're playing. I'm absolutely sure that Michael's mama let Justine know what her son was in for and what he was about. I'm absolutely sure that when Justine met Michael, she knew what he was about. I don't think that he's the first drug kingpin that she's ever dated. You know what I mean? Like, we kind of know what's going on here. I think she's doing the drug kingpin girlfriend, the mob wife, kind of situation where you just look away. You just look away. You don't ask how things are being paid. You don't ask where this fur coat has come from. You don't ask how he got the money. You just enjoy the fruits of his illegal labor and act like you have no idea where he got this stuff from, that he got it legitimately. Why? Because that protects you. That protects you if anything goes down, and there needs to be somebody holding down the fort when everybody gets locked up again. However, I will say this, because my mom, she follows Justine and Michael on Instagram, and she sent me a flyer. She sent me a flyer of an event that they're having in Atlanta. I'm mad of all places. And my mom said she's mad that she's not there, or going to be there. But I feel like these two are probably going to use this show to go on the straight and narrow. Like really flip this show and make a honest living as much as they can from the press that this show gives them. And I think that's absolutely genius. I think that's absolutely genius. Look at this. Yeah, they're hosting. They're making money hosting, and good for them. It's called It's Your Girl, Jazz and Jazzy Prophet Entertainment presents We TV's Love After Lockup fan faves, Michael Montana Mills and Justine Juju. Welcome to Atlanta Media Run, February 17th to the 19th. It's a meet and greet. They got a pop-up shop where Michael will be selling his sneakers. They're doing club appearances. They're hosting day parties. They're doing podcast interviews, and they're going to be special guests on the local radio stations. And Michael Montana is promoting his single "I Don't Care." Justine is pre-launching J Persuade, whatever that is. It says, "Stay tuned. Details coming soon." Genius. The fact that Nobody else is doing this. Dumb. They are going, because we're also going to see them on Life After Lockup. So they are going to ride this, whatever this wave or the pseudo fame that this show gives them until the wheels fall off. And I think this is absolutely something that you need to be doing if you are going to be on reality TV. Why nobody else is doing it, I have no idea. But I feel like these two, especially Michael's, probably going to be one of the most successful people that comes out of this franchise. This could have been Michael and Sarah. This could have been Michael and Sarah. Mom, you do not know that he is drug dealers are not nice people.
It doesn't, because he's a drug dealer.
You are not going to defend somebody who sold drugs to his own community for nice. No.
What's drug dealing to lying? Sin is sin.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is drug dealing to lying?
When the Lord comes,
Mom,
sin
no.
Sin This is what I'm saying.
One is, probably trying not to hurt somebody's feelings or, getting out of working a certain shift. Another is literally killing and theft.
Abuse, domestic abuse, whatever kind of abuse, and drug dealing is no different. It's no different. Sin is no different. What I'm saying is he's a nice guy.
How do you know that?
He's a nice guy.
Okay.
He's a nice guy. He loves his kids. He's a nice guy.
He loves his kids.
He's a nice guy.
Okay. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you today. God bless you.
He's a nice guy.
God bless you. And this is why I don't want you following them. Because you're following them and you're getting enamored by what they put out. And so stop following them immediately. Anyway, you again, you're going to be banned. You're going to be banned again. Moving on.
Oh, please. Hi, Star family. Love y'all.
Who the hell is this? Oh my goodness, I cannot find their pictures. But we're going to talk about Eris and Cameron. The only thing that I want to say about Eris and Cameron is that I feel very sorry for Eris's daughter. Here's why. That baby, this happens so many times though in these Love After Lockup relationships. If the woman has a child, that child is so mature. That child is in a sense raising their mother. And it breaks my heart every time because it's always a young girl who is watching her adult mother make the dumbest decisions of her life. And she has to be there to champion her mother, to protect her mother, and to guide her mother. So her youth is robbed from her because her mother has now made herself the child in the situation. And now this child has to become an adult to protect not only their parent, but also themselves. And I think it's very, very unfortunate for that little girl. Just so precious and just youth just robbed because we all see that her mom is making a terrible decision, and we'll see more of it in Life After Lockup because they're going to be on the next season as well. Yikes. I will say though, the baby know how to read because Eris's daughter, she was just like, I didn't expect for me and my mother's fiance to be the same height. She said, I didn't know. I thought that my stepfather would be taller. Read, mama. Read. Anyway, and another thing, that poor baby just has no positive male influence. No positive male influence. Why? Because her mother continues to get with men that scam her. Eris or Reese is being scammed again by this man who she continues to tell the world that he is musty. Why do you keep on telling us that your husband stinks? It's just weird. It's just completely weird. Let's end with the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the franchise at this point. Monique and Derek. Let me tell you something. Not only did the Love After Lockup casting go above and beyond casting this couple, they went above and beyond by bringing in, not only casting them, but also casting two characters with amazing and huge personalities within their families. because Derek's sisters, they are the show. They are the show. Remember Lorianne Gibson told Puffy, if you fire me, then you have no show. Listen, Derek's sisters are the show. When Derek's sister, I forget her name, y'all know who I'm talking about. When she got in the, when her and Monique started going at it verbally, and she told Monique to suck up penis, not hers, and got in a car and drove off, I almost fell off my couch. I said, did she say what I think she said?
She's a trans.
Mom! No.
She's a trans.
Yes, but
What's
Derek,
wrong with that?
there's nothing wrong with that. But Derek says that's my sister. She has never said anything like that to us. So until she identifies that way,
Well,
Derek
she
said,
didn't say that to us when she said suck a
yeah,
penis
but
and not mine.
but she can say whatever she wants to say.
And I can't.
You can't. Period.
Wow. One-sided word.
Two. You are going to get banned. Anyway, I love Derek's sisters.
And you don't expect me and the world to think
Listen,
I
I'm
talking about Monique. And
no,
Derek,
I'm not going to.
no.
No,
Beyonce.
listen. They're the Jay-Z Beyonce of this franchise.
Yes.
We're all talking about them. Everybody is. People who don't even watch this show are talking about it because of Monique. Yeah, my sister loves this show now. Anyway,
they can't get rid of them.
They can't. We're going to talk about that at the end. But although I did not like the things that Derek's sisters said about Monique, saying that, just body shame. I didn't like the body shaming because it wasn't fair. Monique was very nice to them. She did not do anything. But now Monique is at the point where she does not even want to work it out, because when they call her, and as soon as Monique answered the phone, they started cussing each other out. They started cussing each other out and hanging up. And Derek was like, come on, don't do that. And Monique was like, why would you protect me from your sister? Oh, so let's get into this car chase. First of all, this show is dead wrong for where they placed the camera in Monique's car and the fisheye lens that they are using. They are playing on the proportions of this couple, and Love at the Lockup, I see you. Because you did not have to use a fisheye lens. Oh. Happy Black History Month. That's my ringtone.
Okay.
They did not have to put the camera where they put it, and they did not have to use that lens, because when Derek and Monique, when Derek and Monique are in the car, it looks like Monique is driving around with her child in a booster seat. Like, it's ridiculous. And Love at the Lockup, you are playing on their proportions, because when they are standing up, they're not that far off in height. So when they sit down, it's like Monique just looks ridiculous, and Derek just looks like a whole toddler. And I think they're doing that because I feel like the narrative of this relationship is that Monique is raising Derek. Because just the way he asked her for money, like when they were going to the casino, Monique didn't want to go. Derek kept on coming in the room, softly begging her to go. And she was like, come on, Derek. And she jumped up, tried to jump up and roll out of that bed. Love at the Lockup, you did not have to show us that. You did not have to show us Monique struggling to get out of bed as she hopped in her slides and, sashayed down, dragging Derek down to the casino, cussing him out. Y'all are playing up this narrative of mommy, and bad child and Derek. And you know what? You're wrong. You're wrong, because we see it.
America loves
No, yeah, for the wrong reasons, because America is messy. America is messy, but I see what y'all doing, and y'all messy. Y'all are really messy for how y'all are playing up their height difference, because there's no way. When do I have a picture? When they are in that car, I'm like, oh, this show is messy. Yes, this show is messy, but I will say, Monique, every episode, she defends herself. And how I know that she defends herself? Because my mother follows her and sends me her stuff as well. So she defends herself. She was just like, this show was acting like I did not show Derek how I looked. Derek knew how I looked. I was not giving him from the neck up pictures. I will say this, Monique, although you said that you did not give Derek neck up pictures, the person, I think it was your sister and your best friend, also were alluding to the fact that you were catfishing Derek. So it wasn't Derek's sisters that was putting that narrative out. It was your sister and your cousin. I think your cousin or your best friend who was also saying that.
I hope you show him who you really are.
Yes. So they were alluding to the fact that you were hiding some things as well.
They was trying to protect her. They did not want her to.
Well, because they see what's happening. They see that their sisters, their friend is being taken advantage. Like, look at this. Come on. They're being messy with this. There's no way. No way. Why y'all put the camera so low? Everybody else, the camera is up high. Anyway.
But you know what? She contacted him. Y'all keep on forgetting that. Monique contacted Derek in jail.
Yes, and he responded. And she showed the pictures of herself that she was sending him.
No. Y'all keep on like Derek is doing this. He's taking advantage of her. But she sought him out.
You think she's taking advantage of Derek?
No, that Derek is taking advantage of her.
Yeah.
But she sought him out.
Okay, what's wrong with that? She saw a cute guy who was incarcerated. Okay.
Yes. She sought him out. So she knew her condition.
What is her condition?
That she's overweight. And this is a little small guy.
Well, Mom, she didn't see him. She didn't see his height. So she didn't see him in person. So by the time that they finally when they physically met each other, she was already into him. But she was already into him by the time they physically met. People fall in love online. 3, banned. You're banned. No, I'm not doing this anymore. You're banned, Mom. You're banned.
Website that they go and get prisoners.
Mom, there's websites. There's websites.
Child, don't tell me because I don't want to get on there.
Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. So anyway, this car chase that they were having, I knew it wasn't anything that serious, but you can tell that the camera guy and the producer were really afraid. And I think Derek was making them afraid, and that's just on him, right? Because Derek was real chill, but then he was saying stuff like, oh, don't slow down, keep going or whatever. But I felt like he was doing that because he knew who was in the car. But he was acting like he had no idea who was driving, trying to chase them. And Monique and the producer and the cameraman had no idea. So Monique is crying, speed in this car. The cameraman is afraid. He's like, don't slow down. Keep going. And Monique is like, I can't run no stop signs. And the producer's like, it's okay. We're calling security. Just keep on going. So everybody is afraid but Derek. So I knew he knew that something was up because I felt like if it was the sisters, at this point, they've seen their car. They already have them on contract because they're working with them. So I think if it was the sisters, I don't think that the cameraman and the producers would have been afraid. I think they really had no idea who it was. And it wasn't until Derek in his confessional said, yeah, I knew who it was. It was my PO. I think he said, no, it was one of the security.
It was one of his girlfriends.
No, but it was his girlfriend who, what is a prisoner security guard called? CO? Well, he was having an affair. Well, not affair, but he was sleeping with her in prison. And I think she lost her job because of it. And when he got out, she thought that they were going to be together. And Derek was just like, he called her. And he was like, I know that was you. She was like, yeah, that was me. I'm like, here we go. Monique got somebody else to fight over Derek, but she was like, basically letting him know that it was her. And Derek was like, yeah, I don't know what to do about that. So now Monique is in a love triangle with Derek and his PO and her. And it's just an unfortunate situation for this woman. However,
and CL sound like a roughneck.
She is. Okay. So Monique, don't be doing no fighting on Life at the Lockup.
Oh, Monique is not going to hurt a fly.
But this is, Mom, we don't know. Here is why I say that. I honestly believe that Monique and Derek were not going to be on the new season of Life at the Lockup. I think this show, when they saw how much Monique and Derek trended, and how many people started to come to WeTV because of Monique and Derek. I think they just started filming with them because remember, Monique had let us all know that she was no longer messing with Derek. And then all of a sudden, we see clips of them starting to emerge recently of them being on Life After Lockup when before we never saw them in the trailer. I think everything we're getting from Monique and Derek from this point on will be staged. I think it's all for the show. I do think that they absolutely broke up, but I think they were convinced to get back together because they have become very popular with the show. And I think that we are going to see Monique and Derek within the Love After Lockup franchise for a while.
Because Love After Lockup ain't got this much attention since Michael and Sarah.
Yep, and I think they're doing that because they were so popular. But I absolutely do not think that they were supposed to be on this new season of Life After Lockup. Because, guys, we did not see them. We did not see anything from Monique and Derek until recently. And she was saying that they had broken up. I'm looking at my phone because I forgot to load their Instagram interaction. But Monique posted a risque picture because that's her thing. You go, girl. And Derek was on there talking about how sexy she looks. And she's like, oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, daddy. She actually said, thank you, daddy. Yikes. But I think that's all theater. I think it's all theater. I do not think that these two were together before production reached out to them and was just like, listen, you guys are really popular. Let's make some money. I think this was going to happen. I think we are going to see this couple for a very long time. And you know what? The casting on them is perfection. I don't have a problem with it. What do you guys have to say? I'm going to get a couple of comments from you guys, and then we're going to move into The Bachelor. Hey, Kamika. Kamika says he is not locked up. He was there in Tracy Trendy's interview. Really? We're talking about Chris, right? I thought that he was still locked up. They're extremely toxic. They're extremely toxic. Yep, some people saying this is the first time I have not missed Michael and Sarah. This is the first time I have not missed Chevelle, Redbone, and Quaylon because this season is really good. The casting is absolute perfection. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Gabby was lying about everything. Like nothing made sense. These two were telling so many stories, Gabby especially, that it was just like, what is the point? Because nothing that you say is the same the next episode. So I was just done. I've been done with them for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry if you guys are getting static. So sorry about that. I was having problems with my internet this morning. It was giving me some issues. And I had a problem logging in. So I don't know what's going on. My internet is strong. If you ever see anything, it's always StreamYard, which is why I'm telling you, when I can figure out another site, I will be using it. Oh, she was a bottle girl. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Gabby. Anissa said, I think Ashley is using. I think she's doing something. I think it could probably, Ashley, I'm not saying this is true, but it does give off from all of my years of watching, the Real Housewives franchise, all of those shows. It is giving me medication and alcohol cocktail. That's what it's giving, because your emotions are all over the place. Sometimes you're slurring. Sometimes you can't keep your eyes open. It's given a Dorinda cocktail. A Dorinda cocktail. That's what it's giving. Tia Bia says, yeah, Ashley's troubles didn't happen overnight. It didn't. Like, this was just far too quick. I'm like, you're getting evicted and your business is tanking in the same day? What? No. That's why she was hyperventilating when she got put out. Yeah. I think that she was probably behind on rent for a very long time. And this was the first time. Remember, guys, this was the first time that we found out that she was renting. When we met her, she was talking about how her business was so successful and she was able, to get herself this nice lavish house and all of these things. And now you're a renter that's being evicted because you allowed the felon to live at your home. I do not believe that. I do not believe that for 1 second. Excuse me. Yes, can you get any louder? I think that she was, I think she'd been had problems. And, her poor prison bae, he's there to clean it up. Miss Gigi88 said, yeah, I was confused when they popped up in the hotel room. I thought I missed an episode. Girl, I thought they were on vacation. I was like, oh, y'all evicted? Girl, what happened? What happened? Me too. Here's my mom. It seems like Ashley is on some kind of drugs and Travis doesn't need to be around that kind of environment. He doesn't. He does not. I mean, poor guy. If he thought that he was going to scam her, he better look again. He got scammed. He got like Alex. It happened overnight. I don't even think that Travis got to enjoy the pool. Poor guy.
Yeah, because you can't evict nobody that fast.
That it was happening far too quickly. And Mom, we're not going to discuss how you know that information, so please.
Yeah,
I
work in
Mom.
business.
Kamika Jones says, I live near Daytona Beach, Florida, and they absolutely do background checks for renters here. Yeah, but I mean, are you guys denying felons housing because they're felons?
No, it's probably
no way. As many Florida man stories we hear. No way. Hey, Whitney. Whitney said Travis needs to go. He does. Natalie Valerie is financially and mentally unstable. Something's going on. And listen, her unstableness could be because she's losing so much at the same time. But that's not fair to bring Travis into that. Let him know what's going on.
That cocktail that she's taking, the medication do that.
Thank you, Mom. Mom also says, I want Skylar to go home and start fresh because being with Nathan is a ticking time bomb and he has issues. He absolutely does. Yes! That's what it is.
What?
That's what it is. Ryan, is it Ryan? Orion says Skylar loves chaos. I think that's our problem. Yes, I think so too.
Yes.
I think so too.
She's so unbothered. I was scared for her. She's so unbothered. She's right.
Oh, I started this at like 12:20. I'm so sorry. I do this through StreamYard and they're supposed to notify YouTube. So I think what I'll do now is create it on StreamYard and then go back and check everything off on YouTube because I've been having issues with them connecting for some reason. I've had to reconnect Facebook and I probably have to reconnect YouTube. Anissa says, home health workers and nurses always got drug dealer boyfriends. What is that? Or a cop. If it's not a drug dealer, it's a cop. Like nurses y'all don't want a normie? Y'all don't want a normie? Wait, this is breaking news for y'all. Y'all sent me this tea. Hold on. Somebody sent me the mugshot of him and his family. Hold on. I didn't know that this was breaking news.
Yeah, because I didn't know that either. I just found that out today on your show.
I got the mugshot. Baby, his sister was a general. But with them shoulders.
You can tell.
Okay. I can't find it, but if you got whoever sent that to me, many of you who sent it, can you resend it so I could show it? But yeah, the whole family.
That was breaking news because I was just like, oh no, they didn't. That makes sense for how the mother introduced her to her son.
And when the mother said, as quickly as I put them together, I can separate them. And I said, I believe it. Mm-hmm. I believe it. ND said he's selling his shoes for $1,000 or more, but you can't get the exact shoe, but you can get the exact shoes on AliExpress for $8. Listen, that's how he operates. That makes sense to him. You know what? I think it's cute, Whitney. I think it's cute that they are wearing matching outfits at their big age.
I love it.
I think it's cute. I think it's cute. Absolutely not, Elizabeth. She's banned. She is banned. She
No,
did.
I'm not. Love you, Elizabeth.
She love a little roughneck. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Aris, yeah, her daughter is so mature, and I hate that her mom is bringing that felon in their house. Listen, I think Aris is a sweet person. I do think that her discernment is just not there, because the fact that she couldn't figure out that her baby father was having anchor babies so that he could stay in the United States because he was illegal, and it did not work. They said, we only do that for the white ones. The black immigrants get deported. But I just, like, this man had 5 children at the same time. He has 5 kids in America that are the same age. How did you get wrapped up in that? And I guarantee you knew that he was not in America legally before you even got pregnant by him. It's like, she seems very sweet, but she's very, very naive. And I'm just like, not saying that you can't be naive and be a parent. I'm saying you shouldn't. Yeah, I am saying it, I guess. I just wish she wasn't. I wish she was smarter. I wish she was smarter with that child. I really, really do. My mom said that Michael's a nice guy and Justine does not want any part of the drug life. Oh, you have drank the Kool-Aid. So I love that Michael and Justine have decided to make a living off the show. I do agree with that last statement, but girl, she knew what she was getting into with him.
Yeah, she knew, and she felt like she could change.
Mom, I don't believe it. BB said parentification or parent-child role reversal is the process of role reversal whereby a child or adolescent is obliged to act as a parent to their own parent or sibling. Yep, and we see it all the time on this show. And it's normally the daughters with the mother. It's always the daughters, especially the oldest. What is that? That's so sad. Her in the show. You guys, I'm so glad that I'm doing this live when my sister is not here. It would have been complete chaos. Complete chaos. Yeah, Alana, they are the Jay-Z and Beyonce of the show. And WeTV knows that, which is why they are. Yep. Hey, Indigo girl, how are you? Tracy said, Star family, please like, comment, subscribe, and share because you care, and hit that notification. Yes, sir. Miss GG88 said they also showed us the couch set with the pillow. I don't think that Derek is sleeping in that bed. I don't think they're together anymore. I think they're together for the show. And listen, smart. AI said, I was on Reddit and someone made a post about when Derek and his ex were arrested. Looks just like Monique. It was weird. See? Monique said it. She was like, I send him full body pictures of me all the time. He knows what I look like. He knows what I look like. They're doing that on purpose, Elena. I don't think they're not that different in height. They're not. If you look back at any of the other camera angles and lens, if you could like see a lens difference in any of the other car cameras when we film like footage of the cast driving around, it never looks like that. That was intentional. That was intentional. Blue Jay said, I really do hate the fact that they posed a couple as mama pissed that she is talking to her child who's guest of the Chuck E. Cheese. That is their relationship. When she got out of that bed, I'm sorry, Monique, you look like a tired black mama who was getting up because she had to drive her child to school because her child missed the bus. Derek looked like he was coming into his mom's room saying, Mom, I'm sorry. I got up late. I missed the bus. She jumped up and was like, come on, Derek. Like, mama and her bad toddler. Thank you, Mackie, for the super chat. Cha-ching. Mackie said that car scenes remind me so much of the car scene. Okay. Y'all just as bad as Mama Star. Thank you, Maggie. Blue Jay said, I'm happy Monique and Derek are going to be regulars. They're good TV because it seems like they are equal actors. Yep, who knows what it is. I'm like you, Nikki. I'd rather fake a mess than real toxic. Absolutely. Apps, they're funny. They are funny together. And I think they finally realized their chemistry and now they're in on it. And good for them. This is what I want from reality stars. I'm like, you do not have to destroy your life for a show. You can make a coin off of it too. Just be in on the joke. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what those Laguna Beach kids did. And look at them. We're still talking about them, or at least in some circles. Hey, Anna, how are you? Thank you for being here. Guys, I've known Anna since I was 8. Was it 8? Yeah, 8. She been rocking with me since forever. Alex B said, I like the matching the matching outfits too, but I'm corny. I hate that we try to make that corny. Why can't couples be, in love and dressing together and then not be corny and just be love? And I'm saying that because I'm probably going to do that. I need a man that loves a bedazzled shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
He'll probably be Dominican. That's the only kind of guy that I could dress in glitter and he'll be okay with it. Anise said, Arise is beautiful and thick. She can do better than Cameron. Yeah, but she doesn't know that. She does not know this. She does not know it. Because I was saying the same thing. I'm like, you're a beautiful girl, right? But then, yes, you're burning. It is chaos here. I don't know why you would start cooking and then go sit down. Welcome to my life. But the thing about it is you say that about her. If this alarm goes off, you say that you see those things about her, right? You see that she's a beautiful girl. She can get anybody that she wants, right? But if you don't know that, you'll end up in a situation like this. Like she goes in to pick up Cameron in a half shirt with nipples, pierced nipples printed out on it. And she goes to pick up this man who is just will never be in her league. But she does not know that. And he proposes to her. She kisses him right straight out of prison.
Yep.
After she kisses him, she says, "Oh, you musty." A woman with common sense and discernment just would not be in that situation. But if she doesn't have that, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Hey, sissy, thanks for being here. Manami said the way Derek made Monique think that they would get shot and they had drive is a crazy red flag for me. Entertaining though. All the whole time knowing who was in that car. Knowing who was in that car. Mom, please stop being delusional. Derek put some money down on a ring for Monique. He loves her and wants to marry her. Okay. Nisi said, tell your mama to call me. I want to talk with her. She sounds so cute. Oh, gosh. No, you're not making friends in the chat. Oh, goodness. Listen, every once in a while, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm doing a Christmas pajamas thing. It's happening. We are absolutely dressing alike for the holidays. I don't care if it's the fall. The only holiday I probably won't be dressing up for is the 4th of July. Ciao. Anyway, let's move on to. Hold on. Let me get. Love at the Lockup. We started off with Love at the Lockup. Let's get to 90 Day Fiance. I think more of us watch that. Let's get to 90 Day Fiance. The first episode, right? I don't know. I think we got some good couples. I feel like this show keeps on trying to create an Angela, and we'll talk about that when we meet the new Angela next episode. But so far, I'm like, okay. I don't hate this cast. I will say I love the fact that we have finally have, sexual identity diversity on the show. However, like we got our first trans man on the show, and our second lesbian couple on the show, but they're both getting scammed. They're both getting scammed. I was watching this and I was like, oh my goodness, we have, LGBTQ representation. How amazing is that? And then I was watching the storyline and I'm like, oh, you're getting scammed. Yikes. So we're going to watch this relationship fall apart. Well, at least we got the representation because it's just obvious. Let's first start off with Gabe and Isabel. I like them. I like Gabe. Isabel seems like a sweetie, but then at the end of the episode, you meet Gabe's sister and you realize that Gabe just falls in love far too quickly. Right? Far too quickly and gets scammed in relationships a lot, which explains his sister's like apprehension to him moving to, I believe, Costa Rica is what you call it. No, mom, no. To moving to be with Isabel because Isabel does not work. Gabe pays her, pays all of her rent and helps her, and essentially financially takes care of her and her children. And now Gabe is moving down there, which I feel like Isabel might not be too happy about because I think that Gabe is a cash cow for Isabel. From what we have learned, like it just happened like at the end of the episode, Gabe's sister was just like, I don't think that this is smart. You do this all the time. This always happens. The last woman you were with that got kids scammed you. Now you're going to do this again. And now you're going to be far away where I cannot protect you. I'm on his sister's side. I would feel the same way. I would feel the same way. I know you are somebody who is very gullible. You get scammed often. Now you're going to do it in another country where I can't get to you right away. I'd be concerned as well. But I like Gabe. I hope that Isabel is not scamming. But from what we have been presented with, we don't know, Mom. But for what we have been presented with the first episode, it kind of seems like that. But this is the thing, Gabe. If you're going to get scammed on this show, right? Promote the hell out of your business because Gabe has a business for, but I feel like you should just market it to men in general, but that markets to trans men where it's a frontal filler and where, because Gabe was just like, growing up, I did not have the right equipment to make it appear as if before I fully transitioned, as if I was packing down there. So I wanted to have something to show that. And Gabe created a business where he sells that attachment, and I think that's great, right? But if you're going to get made a fool of on this show, if I were you, I would be talking about, I forget the name of your business. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it attachment plaster, attachment resin. If you're going to get played like that, I would Bethany Frankel the hell out of your business. You need to have your underwear and your attachments like in your background when you're filming. You need to be talking about you wearing it. You need to be setting up, shops and doing pop-up shops everywhere you travel with Isabel. Like you need to be talking about it all the time because I feel like, and this is just the first episode, I could be wrong, I feel like you are going to get exploited to the max on camera and in this relationship. And I just, I want you to get something out of it too. But we haven't met Isabel, so we don't know. We do not know, but Gabe's sister, her apprehension made me a bit nervous about this situation. Can we talk about, is it Keyshawn or Keon? What? Gabe's friend. Gabe's friend Keon reminds me of the TSA friend and Get Out. Because Keon was like, if something happens to you, I'm coming in and I'm getting you. And I was just like, Keon reminds me of that. I forget the name of the friend in Get Out. But my God, today that they have the perfect pairing, and it's so seemed like that relationship was very similar to the relationship with the lead and the TSA friend, the TSA bestie, and Get Out. But I like Gabe. I'm glad that we have trans representation on the show. And I mean, listen, the straights get scammed, so it's time for the LGBTQ community to get scammed. We do have a love story, within the LGBT community on the show. So I guess it's time to have a scammer story. So there you go. But I like so far so good. I don't want to see Gabe get scammed because Gabe just seems so sweet, but I think it's happening. I think it's happening. Let's talk about another scammer, Danielle and Rohan. The scammer in this situation, well, they're both scamming. Let's be real, right? But Danielle, Danielle knows, right? So if you didn't watch 90 Day Fiance in Paradise, Danielle, that's where we met Danielle and Johan. Danielle went on vacation to the Dominican Republic and she met Johan and they fell in love and they got married. And now Johan thinks that they are moving to New York City, where Danielle is very successful. She has a very successful business there. And that's where Johan thinks that they are moving to. But Danielle is just like, New York is dirty, right? And it's just stressful. And I just want to live in the Dominican Republic. And Johan is like, listen, I get what you're saying, but it's hard to make money here. It's hard to make money here. I can make more money in the US and I can also help out my family. Danielle doesn't want to do that, right? So when she's meeting with her friends in America, she's telling them that he doesn't know that she hasn't filed for his visa to come to the United States because Johan thinks that she's going to come and stay with him for a minute, just vacation with him, and then go back to America and prepare things for him to come. But Danielle is like, that's not happening because I do not want to move to the United States because I want to live in the Dominican Republic. Now, if this is true, Danielle, why I say if is because I feel like we have seen this before, Arian Binion, right? We have seen the American woman move to where her non-American husband lives and has been like, I love it here. I love the food. I love the people. I love where we live. It's a lot different than America. The living situation is not what it's like in America, but I love it. And I don't want to move back to America. We're going to live here. And then ta-da, all of a sudden out of nowhere, you see them in America because a fan caught them and put it on Reddit. And now it's like, why are you in America if you guys are supposed to be living in Ethiopia, right? And the more and more that we saw Arian Binion in America, the show at some point had to address it. And then all of a sudden, they're just on the regular 90 Day Fiance because they moved to America. And now they're living their lives in America. And I think the kind of scam here is that they don't tell you what the storyline is so that you don't predict where it's going. But I honestly feel like a lot of these couples, and I felt that way from the beginning with 90 Day Fiance the other way, that a lot of these couples are filming and telling us that these Americans are going to live where their non-American partner lives, or fiance or husband wife or whatever, where they live, only to be living with this person now in America and filming another form of 90 Day Fiance. I think that's always been the grift. I don't think, unless they're living in Greece, right? Greece, Paris, France, South Africa, Ghana. Listen, let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. If they do a 90 Day Fiance the other way, and it's a I was supposed to say African American. Did we say that? I think other people say that about us. And it's a Black American woman. And she's living in Ghana with her Ghanaian man, and she plans on staying there for the rest of her life. That's believable. That's believable because the Black American women are moving to Ghana, child, and not coming back. Now that's believable. But I just feel like if it's in certain areas, they're absolutely coming to America. And I think that Danielle is not going to live the way that Johan lives for far too long before we see them on the regular 90 Day Fiance in America. But I think Danielle is either playing the game or doing what she needs to do to get to another season. Her and Johan. Smart. Smart. If that's the case. If it's not the case, Danielle, then there's only one thing that I can think of why you want to, because this is the thing. Danielle can afford a $4,000 a month apartment in the heart of New York City. She's in freaking Manhattan in a $4,000 a month apartment, right? So if you can afford that and you can afford it in New York City, why are you living in a destitute situation with Johan when you have such luxuries in New York City, right? Because it doesn't make sense if you can afford that and you're living this sort of way. Like, why would you choose to live that way?
Are they really living that way?
Oh, they could. They could
Or
be.
Is that
for the TV show?
For sure.
That's a good point, right?
Remember Rose? When we seen Rose again, Rose was living.
But she got that off of YouTube.
No, Rose didn't live there.
You don't think she lived where she lived?
Rose didn't live there. They paid them people.
Well, true. I feel like they do that too. But what I think is happening is that Danielle is, if they're not playing the game, right? If they're not playing the reality TV game, if this is real life, if she's really hiding from him that she has not filed this visa because she has no intentions of living in of living in New York again, or America in general, then I think the reason why she is choosing to live this way with Johan is because I think Danielle is very aware that she cannot bring a 6'7", built like a Mack truck, chocolate, kind of sorta bilingual man to New York City and keep him. That's what I think is happening, especially if he has the anaconda that she was talking about. Remember when she told her friends that his penis is so big, it's so painful, she had to take pain pills to have sex with him? I think she is doing her best to keep this man in the Dominican Republic, where she can financially control him and dangle possible American citizenship over him. Because I feel like she knows that when she brings that man to the United States, especially in New York City, it's a wrap. Because as soon as he finds his community, I don't think you're going. I don't know, sis. I don't know. I feel like you know. I feel like this is one couple that both knows that they're scamming each other. They just don't talk about it. They just don't talk about it. Like, she knows that he wants to get to America, and he knows that he's cute, and that's why she's there, right? I think they know. If they are not playing the reality TV game, the 90-Day Fiance reality TV game, where they tell the viewers that they don't want to move, but then they eventually move, and then they're living their celebrity life in America. If they're not playing that game, Danielle doesn't think it's safe to bring that man to America because she can't control him once he gets here. In New York City, girl, you better make sure that man never make it to the Bronx. Anyway, that's what I think is happening there. Either way, Danielle, it's not a good look. And this is why I say that. It's because if the tables were turned, everybody would be outraged that this man is lying to his wife about her possible citizenship within the United States of America, and continuing to lay with this person, live with this person, do life with this person while misleading them to the audience. It's sinister, right? But because she's this tiny, white woman, because it's given free to Kalo, right? This tiny white woman with this big black man, I don't think people are really batting an eye. But I feel like if the tables were turned, there would be a bit more outrage than I'm seeing. I'm not seeing enough. I'm seeing something, but I'm not seeing enough because she's misleading him. She's even laughing about it in the confessional with him, saying, I have no intentions of moving to New York, and I'm not taking him with me. And I'm not taking him there. So he's going to stay here. And if she said something that was just evil. She said, oh, and he knows I'm his ticket to America. But that's not happening because I'm not doing it. While this man is standing next to you, why would you talk to your husband like that? Why would you humiliate him like that? Weird. But if y'all playing the game, play the game. But if you are playing the game, Danielle, I would say get out of this storyline real quick because it's not going to go well for you. I would never volunteer to play a villain on a reality TV show. I just would never do it. I would never do it. So if you're playing the game, get out of that storyline. We didn't see a lot of Jen and Rishi, but all I will say about this is Rishi, get your coins, King. Get your coins, King. But I feel like Rishi is getting a bit more than what he intended. Because I absolutely believe that Rishi is trying to get to the United States. I do not for 1 second think that he wants to live where he's from with Jen. And I say where he's from because I forgot it. Forgive me, Rishi. I only watched one episode. But I don't think he wants to live where he lives with Jen. Especially when we met him, he's talking about how he never has to go up to a woman. Women always come up to him. And that's how all his relationships start. It's giving gigolo. It's giving gigolo. But I think that if this couple goes the distance, we will absolutely see them on 90 Day Fiance after the wedding or whatever like that. I think we're going to see them in different avenues, but I don't see them coming to Rishi coming to the United States and staying with Jen, especially when he sees how she lives. Not that bougie man. Not that bougie man. Who do we want to talk about? Oh. Chris is getting scammed. I hate to say it, but when she was talking, before we got to the end of the episode, when Chris was telling us, hold on. I got to make sure I got the right name. This is Chris and Jamie, right? I've only watched one episode. Yes. When Chris was telling us about Jamie having COVID and her not being able to see her for a while, my woman's intuition was like, because I feel like if that was a dude, you would have clocked that a lot faster. I feel like you would have clocked Jamie a lot faster if she were a guy. But I kind of, the more Chris talked about Jamie, I was like, I'm seeing something. Jamie is giving scam. It's giving scam. But I feel like you're scamming somebody who does not have the coins that you think that she has. And this is the thing. People outside of America, scammers outside of America, just because they are white does not mean that they have money. A lot of y'all be getting with these Americans and thinking just because they are white that they have coin. Let me tell you something. Jamie is struggling in Alabama. Chris is struggling in Alabama. She's not struggling in New York or LA. She's struggling in Alabama because when they show her house and they had like spray paint on, somebody has spray painted no trespassing on the front of it. I'm like, is it safe to film it? What's going on? Listen, no shade. Chris is a sweetie. The house was given condemned. And she said that's not even her house. That's her mama house, but she paying the rent on the house. We haven't seen the mama. The mama, Chris and her kids live there, and they're renting it to somebody. She's renting the house to somebody else while she's in.
Need to be condemned.
Well, listen. What? I was like, are we just going to film with that big no trespassing spray paint on the side of the house? Like, but she said that she's renting it while she's in Colombia with Jamie. But I'm like, so where's your mom and your kids going? Something wasn't adding up. It just was not making sense. I'm like, if you are renting that place, what, mom? Oh, I'm about to say, I hope you're not scrubbing my La Crusade. If
boy.
you're renting that place,
You're coming
no, because
for
you
me.
scratched up the last one.
You're coming
If
for
you're
me.
renting that place, where's your mom and your kids going? Or were you talking about another place? I was very confused about her story. So, and I know she was talking about Jamie lying, but I'm like, who are y'all both lying? Something isn't adding up with them. I don't know who was the villain of this story just yet. Because Chris is very sweet. Chris was, the show was playing up that Chris was very different. We see her dressed like a fairy running to the mailbox. Then we see her dressed up like a 1920 zombie, so they were showing us that she's very different and it's hard for her to be different in the conservative South in a small town. So they were setting us up for that. This is what I want to say. They didn't have to dress her up like a fairy. They didn't have to tell her to put on this 1920 zombie costume. They could have let us know that this woman was different by just how many headbands that she has crafted together in the span of the 5 minutes of us meeting her. Because my God, today, every time we saw her in a scene, it was another headband. It was another headband that she had just cut up some fabric and plastered on the side of her head. Cute. Do your own thing. Start selling headbands on Etsy. Do what you need to do. But I'm like, y'all could have let us know that she was odd just from that, or a little different just from that. Y'all did not have to make this 40-year-old woman dress up like a fairy and run to the mailbox. I know that was you, 90 Day Fiance. I do not think that Chris would have done that. That was all you. What you say, Mom?
She didn't do that when she lived in. They wouldn't let her. So she had to go to Birmingham.
Oh, yes. She had to go to Birmingham to date women. Yes. And she said she wanted, she's like, I always consider myself bisexual. And
but she couldn't do that in her town.
Yeah, but she couldn't do that where she lived. So she would go to Birmingham, and then she got online and she met Jamie, and Jamie said the same thing. She comes from a very conservative family in Venezuela, so she moved to Colombia so that she can live her life. But then we later find out from Chris's mama that Jamie was scamming her, because she was telling her that she was dying from COVID, but the whole time that she was telling Chris that she only had a few days left, she was at work. And Chris was sending her money. And so that's why Chris is renting out her home, because she wants to make sure the rent there is taken care of while she's in Colombia, because she essentially is not going to have any money. And if nothing doesn't work out, she wants to have something to go back to, which is smart, which is very, very smart. But I'm like, if you already have these apprehensions, maybe you should stay in Alabama and find a local lesbian, because this is a sad situation. Thank you, 90 Day Fiance, for the LGBTQ representation. But my God, today they are both getting scammed poorly.
Well, the thing is,
poorly.
She wanted to live her life out loud, so she's willing to go over there. But she may be over there by herself.
Yes. And I will give her props. This is the first time that we have seen, aside from Jenny, and a woman with adult children make the decision to just take off. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these women still have very young children, and they're just like, well, I'm just going to go there. I have so-and-so will take care of my kids. And I'm like, you're leaving your kids? But at least her adult children are just like, listen, we got your back. Go live your life. But they still have apprehensions about Jamie, and they should, as we have come to find out.
Because that's their mother, but they're saying, go get over her.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to talk about with these couples. I think it's so far so good. I need to see a bit more. It started off just, very cutesy and introductory. But we'll see. We'll see what comes out of this. I'm gonna stick with it. Like I said, I like the diversity. I like the representation. There's more couples for us to meet. So I'll stick with it. I don't think it's bad. I just need to see a bit more. I'm not excited about the Angela character that's coming up next episode, but we will see. We will see. What do you got? What are your thoughts? And then we'll move on to the Bachelor. Okay, is that the case? Does she have two houses? Because the house that looked condemned, she was doing a garage sale. She was selling stuff at that house. And I was like, what? Who's buying that? So I don't know. Is she selling stuff from the house that burned down? Is that legal? Anyway, are you okay? Anyway, Anissa said Jamie lives with her mom because our house burned down. The rental is the one that looks like a crime scene. Wait a minute. She is not renting out the condemned house. No, is that legal? Is the house up to code? I can't. Blue Jay said, is Chris the first person on 90 Day Fiance who's actually planned for if something doesn't work out, because they seem to bet it all on something unknown? I think so. Smart for her. I was glad she did that. She was like, so somebody can take care of my rent. But now, if that's a condemned house, how much is your rent?
Wow.
And who the hell is paying to live in it? Girl! Spency said, honey, Jen needs to stand up. That crying video gave me secondhand embarrassment. Like, stand up, sis. I think that something is, I think that something's going on there as well. And the only reason why I say that, Mom, do you need some water?
I got some.
The only reason why I say that is because Jen's family in the confessional seemed very concerned. And it wasn't concerned for, like, it was concerned for her moving out of the country, but it was just concern for her. And I feel like we're not getting the full story with her yet. I feel like Jen is going to be a mid-season reveal, right? It's going to be something where the audience goes, oh, okay, right? I feel like she's going to give us a mid-season reveal, and it's going to be, something that's going to, harm her relationship with Rishi. That's what I think. Because I'm like, we're not getting the full story here. Let me get some older comments. Denard said, talking about Gabe, the bulge underwear I was living for. Absolutely genius. Gabe needs to be promoting those underwear every time we see Gabe. All trans men, all my trans friends talk about the need for something there, especially before their bottom surgery. Smart. So cute. Such a sweetie, Anna, but I feel like we are going to watch Gabe's heart get broken. I'm like, I don't trust this. I do not trust this.
Wait, Gabe have some.
No, Gabe is with Isabel. Isabel is the one that has the kids.
Gabe sells enhancement for your pants.
Yes, for trans men.
So it can look like a package, but it ain't.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because a lot of people wear that until they get their bottom surgery. Mom, if you're going to go full boomer, I'm going to put you out.
You don't allow questions.
First of all, you're already banned, so why are you talking to me?
But you don't allow questions?
No.
So if I see a guy,
no boomers. No. You are
package.
boomer banned. I don't know why we are hyping up the Eagles, but I love it. Yes, we're going to the Super Bowl. We are going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mom, for bringing that up. Gabe, my mom said Gabe may be going back sooner than later after he tells her parents that he is trans. This is the thing. That's what I'm very concerned about. And that's maybe why Gabe's sister's more concerned as well. Because Gabe was like, I don't tell people that I'm trans. It's like, you don't have to. But he was just like, because I am marrying into Isabel's family, because he plans on proposing to Isabel and marrying her. But I feel like Gabe thinks his relationship with Isabel is a lot farther than it is. But anyway, he was just like, she hasn't told her parents, and I haven't told her parents. So I feel I need to, since I'm marrying into that family, I need to let them know what's going on, because her kids accept me, but I need for her parents to know, who I am, and, be able to accept me into their family. And again, if I was Gabe's sister, I would be nervous. I would be nervous because not only is your brother going to a place where you do not have access to him immediately. You're also going to a place where you don't know how he will be received because of who he is. And if he will be safe and protected, because where he lives, he's not safe and protected, right? So the family has to be scared. Has to be. There's no way they're not. There's no way that they're not. So, oh, Gabe, come home. Come home. Miss GG88 said a friend of mine, oh my thighs, knows Johan's people, and she said she thinks he's in New York. Or so maybe Danielle is playing the game. If Danielle, if you're playing the game, I hope this storyline flips for you, because you just seem so sinister, laughing at the fact that he still believes that he's going to live in New York. Stay woke.
He's probably going along with it too because he's in New York now.
Allegedly, we don't know, but girl, don't let him go to the Bronx. Keep him in Manhattan. But you know what? The Real Housewives of New York might find him.
And if they find him,
listen.
Danielle in the corner. You hear what I said?
Listen. She know what she got. Yolande said when she said, "What will enough?" Yolande said when she said, "What will an extra 15,000 do when I am 65?" I wanted to smack. I think she's playing the game. I hope she's playing the game. Q Love Awaken said, "Nikki, there's many Black expats living throughout the world. There are better conditions outside the U.S. I currently live in Rwanda. It's literally very peaceful here." I'm trying to think of what did I say to, oh yes, when I was talking about if we would get Americans living in certain areas, it would be more believable that they wouldn't want to leave. I agree with that. But listen, and we could have a situation where we have a 90-Day Fiance the other way, and the Americans are living in a place that probably doesn't have the best conditions, right? But they're living with somebody who, although where they're at doesn't have the best conditions, they have the money to have a better life, right? You know what I mean? I just what I was saying about that was that I just do not believe that Americans are going, the American people that we see on this show are going to live in destitute situations outside of the U.S. I just don't believe it. I never believed that Ari and Binion were going to say in Ethiopia. Now, if Binion was, stacked, you know what I mean? If he was wealthy in Ethiopia, absolutely, I would believe that she would stay there, right? Jenny is the only one. Jenny is the only American that I'm just like, girl, go home. This don't make no sense. Like, no, but she's also in a situation where the guy's family is terrible. So it's just not a good situation. So I'm just like,
that don't want the Indian people.
Yeah, yes, Mom. Yeah. Enough.
They usually pick the white.
Mom.
They do.
No, I'm not.
They have arranged marriages.
Mom.
In their culture.
Enough. This is why I banned Archie Bunker. This is why I banned Archie. Anyway, you always go full Archie in the lace front. I can't. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. I do not believe that Americans will not live in other countries, right? But they're going to live within certain conditions. And I just think the Americans who are getting partners who come from poverty, where they live, I just do not believe that the Americans are going to stay in that situation. Like we saw a clip in the trailer where Danielle was talking to Johan about the meat, and she was like, "There's bugs on the meat," and he was like, "Welcome to the Dominican." And he was like, "Welcome to the Dominican Republic. This is how you want to live. This is how I live." Now, is Johan wealthy? No. If he were wealthy, I would be like, yeah, Danielle ain't coming home, but he's not. That's what I meant. Mom, you're going to be blocked. Dr. Rim said, I went to an international school in Ghana. There are a lot of expats there. I heard there are a lot of expats in Nigeria as well, not only from the US, but from other countries like UK, India, Japan, both, both Koreas. I was like, both Koreas. Oh, yeah. But listen, there's a huge Black American community. There's a huge Black American community in Ghana. They have something every year. I don't know what it is. It's around New Year's. It looks fascinating. It looks fascinating. All the Black American women go there. Half of them come back. Half of them come back. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about with 90 Day Fiance. Let's move on to The Bachelor.
No, you need to read Mrs.
Yeah, Mom, you're done.
Mrs. Gigi.
You're done.
Comment.
Oh, what's Miss Gigi comment?
Miss Gigi 88.
No. No, y'all want me to free her. Then she get on here and go full Archie Bunker, and then I gotta ban her for a month, and then she comes back on here crying. Star family, I have learned my lesson, and I don't feel like that. Not in 2023. Not in 2023. I can't. Absolutely not. Let's just get right to it. Let's get to The Bachelor. Zach, I don't hate him. I felt like I would not like him this season because I did not like what he did with Rachel. I did not like how I felt like he came on auditioning for The Bachelor. I do not think that he wanted Rachel or Gabby. I just felt like he was auditioning for this role, and I felt like nepotism got him the job. However, I still feel that way. I don't hate him as The Bachelor. I don't hate him as a bachelor. And just watching the last two episodes, I realized that The Bachelor is actually about the women. Like, you don't have to be a dynamic personality. We learned that from Ari, but you don't have to be a dynamic personality to hold that rose. You just have to be able to navigate the bizarre women that they cast for this show. And I think he's doing a good job of that. I don't hate him. I don't. Interesting. I thought I would. I will say another thing that's very interesting is that The Bachelor watches. Do I have it here? The Bachelor watches my reviews. They don't pay me. But one day you will, because I will take credit for this. I am the sole reason why Lotto was on this latest episode. This is me. This is all me. I told them to stop with them country singers from Instagram. I said y'all need to get somebody current that the young people know who we're talking about. They don't have to be Googled, and they have one name. And who do we have? Lotto. You're welcome, Bachelor Nation. She was great. She did a great job. She was very comfortable. I just loved it. I felt like Lotto, in my opinion, was worthy of a better scene, though. The tough girl strut or whatever they were trying to do. I just felt like we could have been a bit more creative with her presence, right? But I think they were just going off of, her most popular song. But she has a lot of, songs about, being a powerhouse of a woman. And I just felt like we could have did a bit more with her. It just seemed a little corny. But I'm glad we got Lotto. And I hope we keep this trend. I feel like at some point we're going to see, an Instagram country star on the show. But I like where we're starting. Shout out to the Black people on production who watched my show and handed this information over. You can invite me to the finale at this point. You're welcome. But I think she did a great job. She actually made Zach seem a bit more cool than he really is. He was trying to stand next to Lotto. He kept on adjusting himself. I'm like, dude. We know you don't listen to Lotto. It's okay. But the girls are really excited to see her. It was a good little scene. It was a good little scene. They couldn't strut to save their lives, though. Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. Speaking of somebody who couldn't strut, but bless their hearts, let's get into Brianna. I like her, right? I like Brianna. And for the first episode and a half, I thought that she was going to be the next Bachelorette. Then she started acting real weird. She started acting crying all the time. She's so insecure. She's just like, I don't know. America picked me, but I need to know if Zach picked me. And I'm like, if you need to know that, go talk to him. Why are you spending so much time telling the other women? Now, I feel like this show brought her in to be the Bachelorette, but I feel like she's tanking that. That's what like is upsetting me, because I feel like she was hired to be the Bachelorette, but I don't think she's playing her role on this show, because she's just like, when she gets around Zach, she becomes so uncomfortable, and he becomes uncomfortable, and I can't put it on him at this point. Because every time she sits down with him, I don't know if you like me. I don't know how you feel about me. I don't know, because America picked me, but you didn't pick me, so I don't know how you feel. And I need another rose, and it's giving real like thirsty pick me energy, and I'm like, that's not what we want from the Bachelorette.
It's not Big Lotto energy.
Mom, that's not what we want from the Bachelorette. We want the Bachelorette to be confident. We want the Bachelorette to be like, I know this is my man. And then when he sends you home after the fantasy suite, you're crying in the car, and you're like, I thought this was my person, but I guess it's not. I deserve love, and I will find it. And then we cut to the trailer for your season. But we cannot do that if the audience can't get on board with you. And I feel like I was on board, but I'm like, I feel like getting off this ship because you acting weird. You gotta stop acting weird, Brie. I feel like this was, they set you up to be the Bachelorette, but I feel like you are tanking it. And they can't save you in the edits. They cannot save you in the edits with what you're giving them. Like, she's just doing too much. I'm like, you have to act like you were hired to be the next Bachelorette, because I feel like she is. The way they are covering her, they have never covered a Black girl on this show before like this. Not even Rachel. Not even Rachel. The way they are covering the camera time that she gets. I watched that girl. I forget her name, but we all know her. She's the one that does the Bachelor numbers. Every time she does the numbers, the data, Bachelor data thing, I think that's her name, Bachelor data. Every time she does the data on how many people have screen time, Brianna is always under Zach. I'm like, do you know that you were hired to be the next Bachelorette? Do you know that? If you don't, figure it out. Figure it out during the filming of this show. Please. I hope at some point you figured it out, because you are acting real weird. Please stop acting weird, girl. This is your time. This is your time. Stunning girl. Stunning girl. She's just as white adjacent enough for the whole Bachelor community to get on board for her, because, you know, we're going to rock regardless, right? But she also needs to, you know, feel comfortable. And I feel like she has that. But then them insecurities, that imposter syndrome starts popping in. And I'm like, girl, you're tanking this audition. You are tanking this audition. You got it. You got it. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. I feel like this is your shot. I feel like this is your shot. Because she sat down with Zach and they were having such a good conversation. And then she brings up Christy. And Zach is like, oh, I didn't know. Well, let me talk to her about that. That's weird, because... Girl, every time you go talk to Zach, talk about your life together after this show. Kiss him. Rub up on him. Stay a couple episodes. So when you get cut, we know that you're going to film your season and that we're going to see you again. Not in paradise, but on your own season. Oh, Lord. I'm going to start teaching the Bachelor and Bachelorette camp. Anyway, Taz came back. I want wanted more for her. I wanted more for her. Is she auditioning to be the next Bachelorette? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, when she was just like, I feel like I want to be a part of I want to be in the house because me and Zach had some kind of connection. I was like, did you really? Or did you just want camera time? And then when he cut her, I felt so embarrassed for her. But I'm like, girl, you had no chemistry. You ain't even talked to the man. So how did you want to, like, there was no way that Zach could have kept Taz. And it had nothing to do with her race or anything like that, or him not being attracted to her. He was just like, I'm just further along with the other women. And it makes sense because I'm like, you didn't even talk to him when you went in there to film that scene with Lotto. So what would make you think that you have a shot with him when y'all never even conversed? It was weird. And I think that Zach made the right decision.
He sent her home?
Yes, he sent Taz home. Mom, he should have. Not Brianna. Not Brianna. He sent home Taz.
Brianna, she missed a very big moment.
She's going to get it back.
No, she missed a very big moment when she's supposed to get that big energy. And she came out.
No, she can't. She can't. No. I think that she can strut. I think she didn't give it because she has to be palatable to the wider audience, the majority of the Bachelor audience. She can't. That's the thing.
You cater to you.
Yes, you would do
Beyonce,
that. No.
Has a very wide audience.
You would do that, and you would be sent home on night one.
No,
you would. You would be. They'll cut you. You can't bring all that grinding to the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. That's not their audience. You take that to Love and Hip Hop or the Flavor of Love, not the Bachelor and the Bachelorette.
Yeah, let me cater to you and cater to you. Every position. And you want more.
That's not the words.
Yeah, okay. Want more.
Okay.
You know when Beyonce and Destiny Child did that?
No, I don't. Please leave me alone.
Honey, listen.
No, we're done.
Wigs went back. Toupees went back. Yes, let me.
Please go away. Like, why do y'all do this? Y'all know I had to do this live. Why are you just coming here and bother me? Please leave me alone.
Let me cater to you. Let me cater to you. Let me cater to you. It's you.
This is bullying. Y'all are bullying me at this point, and I don't like it. Moving on. Let's talk about Christy. Let's talk about Christy. I was shocked that she is the villain. I thought that she was doing very well. I was actually on her side with the Brianna situation because when Brianna was just like, I think she said, you're so pretty, I hate you. And listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm still on Christy's side about that. Like, Brianna, you have been to school and grew up with and lived in neighborhoods with Christy's. So how you did not know when she was saying, you're so beautiful, I hate you, where that was, how you thought that was an insult or an attack and not how those Valley girls talk. I just didn't believe it. And I felt like you were doing too much. And Zach felt that same way. But color me surprised when I see the trailer and all of a sudden Christy, who I thought was a front runner, is now the villain. So now Christy is playing the role of, she's terrible to all the women. She's a uber villain, but Zach the Bachelor is too far in love with her or gone on this woman to see how terrible she is. And then her and the girl that she is fighting with the most in the house go on a 2-on-1 date with Zach. And then he eliminates Christy and keeps the other girl around, only to eliminate her at the rose ceremony. And Brianna, I think that might be you. Stay woke. You are the Bachelorette. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. But I was really surprised. I was really surprised that Christy became the villain that quickly. I was like, episode 3, you're the villain. I thought you were a lead. I thought you were a front runner. Not anymore. She's going home on a 2-on-1 date. And good for her. Good for her because she got to get home to that kid. Speaking of her kid, Were you guys nervous that Zach was going to cut her when she told him that she had a child? That scene, I was like, Zach, what the hell are you about to do? Because he was just like, I'm not ready to be a parent. And when you told me that you had a child, I was very nervous about that. So and then he got the rose and was like, but I'm ready for the challenge. I was like, boy, I thought that he was going to cut her. And I was like, oh, after that speech, that would not have been a smart thing to do. So good on him for misleading me, just like an actor. I see you, Zach. I see you. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Bettina says Zach absolutely came on to be the Bachelor and leveraged his uncle's fame for it. Yep, Nepo baby. I'm sure producers had him picked for the role very early on in the casting process. I agree. Yeah, he's not Claire. Speaking of Claire, our girl Claire Crawley got married. I'm happy for her. I'm happy. This is the thing. Claire got herself a Justin Timberlake from the early years. Because I feel like Claire, I felt like Claire wanted something. She wanted a man, a certain kind of man. You know, if you can't get this, it is very, very smart to get something extremely similar, which is from the city. And she got it. I'm happy for her. He seems to really be into her and just loving her, doing all the corny videos with her that she desires. I'm happy for the both of them. Congrats, Claire Crawley Downey. What's her name? Her name is Claire what? Downey? Claire Downey? Hold up. It's Claire what? It used to be Crawley. Did you change it right away? No, she kept it. Her name is Dawkins. Claire Dawkins. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. Congrats. Claire Phil said, Zach's not as horrible as I imagined. Same. I was like, I went into this episode hating, and I was like, okay, he's not awful. He's not awful. Hugh Gatt said, hey, Nikki, when I saw Lotto, I thought of you, and I actually loved the 2 episodes. They're watching. I was like, Lotto? Absolutely. They need to, Ryan. But Tina said Zach has a tell when he actually really likes the woman because he will do a face neck grab when kissing a girl he really wants. Just Katie. We'll get into her. Blackface Greer. He keeps his hands down when kissing black women. Yeah, I don't think he's ever been to the Essence Festival or ever wanted to go. He stays at Stagecoach. But you can't have a show with an all-white cast. Absolutely not. Especially with the allegations that show has been getting. Ciao. Ryan talking about Brianna. She got on my nerves. Episode 2, now I can't stand her. I was like, Brianna, you got this in the bag. What are you doing? Amario said, I'm so disappointed in Brianna. She is deeply insecure. Over Zach. Girl, but see, this is the thing. I know you think raising your kids in a school, in a neighborhood is the best thing for them. But I'm telling you, you all are raising beautiful, intelligent Black kids who have no idea that they are that. I'm telling you, I feel like Brianna does not know what she looks like. And that's because the parents probably raised her. The education is great. Yeah, but your kid's mind is jacked up. They're scoring high on their test scores, but this freaking supermodel thinks she's hideous. Listen, put them in public schools in the city. I'll take the educational sacrifice for a sane child. There are great schools in the city, great educational schools in the city. but you got to be moneyed up to get in them. Caitlin said, I think Brianna knows Zach doesn't like her, so she's playing the production game to get a paradise spot. I don't think she would have done the convo with Christina otherwise. And that is my problem with Brianna. She's playing like she's going to paradise and not straight to the Bachelorette. Girl, America picked you for a reason. And it wasn't America, it was the producers. Let's play this game. You're the next Bachelorette, but you're acting like you're going to paradise. Whew, child, that's a message. That's a message. God got you for the lead role, but you acting like you're about to be an ensemble cast member. Child, wake up. Lisa Parker said, greetings all. I'm running errands, but I'll be back for the replay. Thank you, Lisa. Ms. Gigi88 said, we all know he's not picking a sister. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't even watch this show, and I know that. Yeah, he's not. Blue Jay said, a part of me can't blame Brianna, but another part of me is like, Brie, you're beautiful. Become the next Bachelorette. Yeah. And then she should not be in paradise, Ryan. She should not be. My mom says Brianna's a cute girl, but she is not holding it down. When she was supposed to do a big energy moment, she let me down. She could not give you what we probably know that she could do. Bettina said Brianna needs to play the Bachelorette game. It's been handed to her on the silver platter. Guys, we've never seen it set up so clearly like this before. It's never been set up so clearly like this before, and she is tanking it. And her spiraling is fumbling the bag. Producers have to be planting these America Rose doubts in her mind. Or they probably gave it to her, but they're probably like, oh, you've gone far. You've gone way too far. We didn't expect you to say all of that. Avalon Park said she embarrassed herself. Zach does not like her. We know that, but you're not there for him. These girls, when they go on this show, strictly for The Bachelor, get on my nerves. Why are you going on there to find your husband on reality TV and not a bag? God bless him. Estamia Vita 2011 said, off topic, but I just love Sister Star's laugh. It's so full and rich. It makes me happy. Oh, I will let her know. I told her the Star family loves her. Caitlin said there is a clear visual in the preview on the top there is a clear visual in a preview in the top 11, and I'm shocked who's not there. Like, what the hell happens? Child, we don't know. We do not know. Caitlin also said, the irony is that Zach's famous uncle was cut out of the episode. He was? Oh, well, it's probably because everybody is like, oh, he got it because of his uncle. So they're cutting him out to make it seem like Zach got this on his own. But listen, we already know. We already know. Ryan said, I'm a victim as well. After a white public school. Listen, there are certain schools that I feel like you can send your kids to that will give them a great education, but but they have the diversity and they're able to see themselves. Listen, kids are supposed to see themselves. People get on athletes. Well, my people get on Black athletes all the time about the partners they pick. But I'm just like, you have to understand they were kids when they were taken out of their neighborhoods and out of their schools and put into majority white and wealthy schools and living with a wealthy white host family during formidable years, right? So when this boy's body is developing, he is around women who don't look like him or his people. Formidable years. So of course he's going to grow up with an attraction to a certain kind of woman and an attraction to living a certain kind of life when during his formidable years, he is placed in that environment and told that this is good. And that's the same thing that's happening with, when you send your children to schools where they are not the majority or they can't even see themselves at all. Like, that is unhealthy. Baby, I moved to LA as an adult and not seeing myself every day did something to me as a grown-up. Could you imagine a child enduring that? Whoo! Amerio said, I agree, Nikki. I wish my parents would have raised my sister and I in the city instead of the white suburbs. Oh, Amerio, what's up? You're a suburban kid. What's up? What's up? But listen, them city schools. Now I will say this: suburban black parents listening to me and taking my advice. Make sure you got a kid that can transition to a city school. Not every kid can transition to a city school. You might have to ease them in. Send them to summer camp in the city. Blue Jay said, ain't this a word? God giving you things on a silver platter, but our insecurities, while truly justified, will doubt the gift. Absolutely. We're watching it in real time with Brianna. Everybody knows she's a bachelorette, but Brianna. Everybody knows. Even Christy knows that she's the bachelorette. So Christy was like, you know what? Brianna's the bachelorette. I'm going to be the villain and I'm going to kill it in paradise and redeem myself. Chrissy's going to go to paradise and get a whole redemption arc. And she might end up being the bachelorette. Brianna, wake up, mama. Wake up. Let's close out with Drag Race, which I'm so excited about. And I'm so sorry that I've not been able to talk about that with you guys more, because this is a good season. I think the casting on this season is great. I love the casting on Drag Race. You guys know who my favorites are. I don't think there's a shock there. Who I'm rooting for and who I'm obsessed with. Of course, I'm obsessed with Sugar and Spice. I hate the fact that the show broke them up. I felt like they casted them to be on this show to break them up. And I'm so pissed off about that because I feel like they were a good dynamic together. And I felt like the editing just made them annoying. No, they're annoying, right? But I feel like the show was editing a lot of their annoying moments and putting them into one episode. And I don't believe it. I love Sugar and Spice. I think that they deserve to be on Drag Race. They did very good. Not everybody kills it at the Snatch Game. That's the make it or break it for a lot of people. And a lot of people who kill the Snatch Game are people who are more camp, right? And Sugar and Spice, although they are camp, they are like...
Miley Cyrus is not funny.
Miley Cyrus wasn't funny. But what I'm saying is Sugar and Spice are camp, but they're a newer kind of camp. No, they're a new kind of camp where the camp is more about
you're reaching T-Rex arms.
What are you talking about?
No.
Y'all get what I'm trying to say. They're camp, but they're like trendy kind of camp. You know what I mean? They're like Paris Hilton. Who? Lucy? Yes. Okay. Lucy. Oh, Lucy is an extreme talent. I think Lucy is an extreme talent. Lucy, where's Sasha?
And we like the Nubian.
That's Lux. Lucy, Sasha, and Lux are my top three.
Sugar and Spice is supposed to be not everything.
No. They were not. This is the thing. Sugar and Spice, I did not intend to see them at the end at all. I felt like they got cut far too soon. They got cut far too soon.
Got cut?
No. Just what you cut one, you cut the other.
Sugar was not good. Sugar was
neither was Spice, and I felt like they brought them on the show to break them up.
Every twin doesn't make it.
Yes, but not these twins because of Mom. Because Aurora, Aura should have been cut. It should not
have been cut. See episode 1. Amethyst wait on there way too long. I said what I said and I meant it.
I agree. Amethyst is a talent, but Amethyst, yeah. This is the thing about Drag Race. I will say this. On Drag Race, you have to be able, you gotta beat your face in a drag way. Hello, Marsha. You cannot just go out looking like you're going, like you're going to Mac. You have to look like you are on the runway in Paris after Pat McGrath has just bedazzled your eyebrows and beat your face to the gods, right? The wig has to be teased, like the waist has to be snatched, the hips have to be out here, like you have to have proper padding. You also have to be able to sew. You also have to be able to lip sync for your life. You don't have to know how to duck walk and do, all the components of Vogue, because a lot of people in the ballroom culture do not like that, especially if you are not of the ballroom culture. But you just have to be able to, lip sync for your life. You got to be able to sew. You got to be funny. If you cannot do a character, you can do something abstract, but you have to make the audience laugh. And I just feel like we have a lot of queens that are very talented, but they're talented on Instagram. And a lot of that is not transferring to the show. Amethyst, I think, is funny in her community. I think the stuff that she does is more for that wealthy white liberal community, gay community that probably comes to her shows in Connecticut. I don't think that her act could kill in New York City. I don't think
she's not funny.
I think she's funny to a certain community.
It was not funny.
But I feel like the community that she plays to in Connecticut thinks that it's hilarious, because when she came on the show, everybody was like, "Oh, Amethyst, that's the girl. Like, she kills in Connecticut." But although you kill in Connecticut, you might not kill in Philly. You might not kill in New York. Drag Race is a whole different beast. Like, for you to be a successful queen, in my opinion, on Drag Race, you have to kill it in one of the two major networks. You got to kill it in New York, and you got to kill it in LA. If your acts do not land in New York and LA, that should be the deciding factor for you.
Tam Mom thing. Was that supposed to be like Jersey Shore?
Tam Mom was before your time. She was a reality TV. She was a reality TV star that got big off the news for like just tanning too much. She tanned to the point where everybody thought that she was in blackface. But the Connecticut, no, she was much darker than Rachel Dolezal. But it was a big thing, right? And that Connecticut community probably killed when she probably did that there. But here it's a different story. So that's the thing. Like with Drag Race, you have to, I feel like every queen that wants to go on Drag Race should try their material in New York and in LA. If you could kill it at Flaming Saddles, and if you could kill it at, one of them New York clubs, if you can, go to Philly, 13th Street and on them bars, if your act is killing it there, then more than likely, you're probably going to do well on Drag Race. I feel like when we get queens from smaller towns or smaller communities, sometimes more privileged communities, the comedy doesn't really hit. That's why the Southern queens, the Southern Black queens or Southern queens in general from small towns, that's why they kill, right? A lot of them come on Drag Race and they kill because a lot of them come from smaller, poor working class towns. And they also have, not unfortunately, but the comedic abilities of the South, right? And they have that comedic ability that is normally associated with older Black women. And they have those mannerisms and they have the sayings, and that also comes from the older Black gay community in their area, or the older Southern community in their area. And they have those things to land on, right? So if they can't do a funny character in Snatch Game, they can say some funny Southern thing. And it's like, okay, well, that's killing, right? Your Liza Minnelli is terrible, but you're telling Rue to go smoke a pickle out of a rooster's anus, and everybody's laughing. So the Southern queens have that kind of advantage, but the Northern queens, you just got to be a straight comedic assassin if you're going to do camp. And that was Amethyst's thing. Like, Amethyst came on this show like, my thing is camp. I'm camp. But you got to kill. If you're going to go full camp, you got to go full Lucy. You got to go full Lucy. Lucy is camp, but Lucy is also very funny, and she can do characters. I had Lucy just up here. Where is Lucy? This is Lux. Yeah, Lucy. Lucy is camp, but Lucy can do characters very well. Her Joan Rivers killed. But that's the kind of camp that Amethyst, I think, needs to learn from. But I still think she's a good queen. Let's talk about this episode, though. The reading challenge. I'm not gagging. This was the saddest reading challenge I've ever seen. The saddest reading challenge I've ever seen. I was not gagging. I didn't think that anything was funny. Nothing really landed. It seemed like the reads were just insults. It wasn't for me. It was not for me. Lucy won because she talked about mistresses kitten hills, but that was kind of like a fat joke, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know, but it wasn't. They didn't really do it for me. Here's where I disagree with Rue and the judges. So this challenge for this episode was the unconventional challenge, basically like in Project Runway, where the queens had to take, materials from a certain crafted room that Rue had. So they were taking stuff from couches, from plants, wallpaper, and all kinds of stuff, and had to create a garment. So there are two challenges, in my opinion, on Drag Race that really make or break who's staying and who's going, right? Make or break who the top queens are going to be. So the two challenges that, in my opinion, make or break the queens is always Snatch Game, and it's always the unconventional materials challenge. Because if you cannot sew, if you cannot hot glue for your life, you're going home on the unconventional challenge. If you are not funny, you don't have to be able to do a character, but if you are not funny, you're going to go home after the Snatch Game, right? So the Snatch Game right after the unconventional challenge, in my opinion, was by design because they have a lot of queens and they got to trim the fat quickly, right? So I'm not surprised that those two episodes happened back to back. But anyway, let's get to the unconventional challenge. I disagreed with Rue and the judges on eliminating or making Selena and Amethyst sing in the bottom. Here is why. I felt like Selena's outfit wasn't terrible. I think with the materials that she had, she did a lot. And to put her in the bottom because she did too much just did not make any sense. I feel like for some reason, they want to hold on to Jax. For some reason, they want to hold on to Aura. I don't know why. I do not know why they do not want to let them go. Amethyst absolutely should have been in the bottom because, she just been there a lot of times. But I don't think Selena should have been there. I think Selena did a lot. And if it was too much, fine. But to put somebody in the bottom because they made too much, when you save people who made less with the same amount of time, in my opinion, it just wasn't right. I don't think that Selena deserved to be there. I think Selena is camp. I think Selena sometimes may do too much, but in my opinion, she should have been at the bottom. And I absolutely knew next to Amethyst, because I've seen Amethyst perform in the bottom before, I knew that Selena was going to turn it out. And I'm glad that she was able to, save herself, but she should not have been there. She did not look the worst, in my opinion. Let's talk about my top three. I think I have top four. Yes, I have top four. I'm sorry. Let's talk about the top four. Here is who I think is going to make it at the end, and here is who I think is going to win. So the first of my top four is Luxx. Luxx came in this competition like a Tomb Raider. Every runway, every challenge, Luxx has just been a star. Luxx has absolutely been shining, but there are some other stars there as well, right? But Luxx is somebody who, if you're not paying attention, you will be shocked that she will be in the end, because Luxx is doing it. Luxx knows how to sew. Luxx knows how to design. Luxx can beat her face. Luxx knows how to properly block a wig. Luxx is very talented. Now, an acting challenge might mess her up at some point later down the road, which is why I don't think she's going to win, but she's good. She is really, really good. She's absolutely going to go on tour. Lucy. I don't think that Lucy is going to win, but I think that this competition is going to be between Lucy and another queen. Lucy is really good. Lucy is insecure because Lucy sees that a lot of queens can do certain things that she can't do. I don't think that Lucy is a lip sync assassin. I don't think that Lucy can do the acting challenge outside of the characters that she does. So that might be a weakness, but Lucy is very good. Lucy is trained. Lucy has a lot of years behind her. And I just think she's the overall. She has it, but I don't think that she's going to win. Anitra, my God, today, shocker. She absolutely shocks me every episode. I was not expecting this from her. I think that she's going to be in the top 4. I do not think that she will be in the end, but Anitra is also a very, very strong queen. Who I think is going to be at the end, next to Lux, next to Lucy, Sasha. Sasha for me is going to win this competition. Sasha has done no wrong. Sasha is well trained. Sasha has been in the community for a very long time, has been in the drag community for a very long time. Sasha is Rue's favorite. I would not be surprised if Sasha and Rue had some kind of drag friendship outside of this show, and maybe Rue was kind of playing it down because then Sasha probably would not be allowed to be on the show. But Sasha is going to win this competition. Sasha can act. Sasha is funny. Sasha can sew. Sasha can dress. Sasha can beat her face. Sasha is a neutral, kind queen mother. She's winning this show. She's winning the show. It's absolutely going to be between her and Lucy. Lux is going to be the third one. It's going to be between Sasha, Lucy, and Lux. Lux is going to get cut. It's going to be between Lucy and Sasha because everything is political, right? But Sasha's going to win. And is Sasha going to be our first trans winner? I think Sasha may be the first trans queen to win Drag Race. If I could be mistaken because I haven't watched the other Drag Races. I just stick with the American one, but I could be wrong. But I feel like Sasha may be our first U.S. American queen to win the show. But I think that's what's happening here. I just every episode I don't see any competition. I don't see any flaws. I think that she is winning this show, and I think it's going to be between her and Lucy at the end. What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Y'all talking about the Cater to You remix. They're bullies. They're bullies. Blue Jay said, side note, appealing to the white gays seem boring because I would tune in to see Mama Star Let Me Cater to You.
Yes.
Bullies, Alana. It's not funny. They're bullying me.
Yeah.
Alex said, loving all the commentary from the Star family. Caitlin said, there is a clear visual and oh, we got that one. Alana, Zach's uncle is a TIK. The TIK is his uncle. The guy that played the TIK. Shout out to the Suburban Girlies. Shout out to the Suburban Girlies in the chat. Make some noise. Dragging the people don't even know their names. I was like, who are you talking about? Lucy. I love them. But I'm telling you, Yolande, when I saw them, I was just like, they casted them on the show to break them up. I knew it. I didn't think that they would break them up so quickly. I thought that maybe we would have them for at least 6 episodes. But they got rid of them really quickly. I love Sugar and Spice. Sugar and Spice were so sweet together. There was people hated them because they're really successful on TikTok, and they feel like because they haven't done any shows and because they haven't done drag the old or organic way that they are not deserving. But look at this makeup. Look at it. Look at their hair. Look how they styled their stuff. I like them. Listen, times are changing. The internet, the social media has changed a lot for everyone, and especially the drag community. So just because they haven't done a show does not mean that they can't put on a show. And at least, if anything, they proved that they are worthy to be a recognizable name within the drag community. I love them. I loved how honest and raw they were about a lot of their stories. I did not like how mean the queens were to them in the beginning. 1, because they were young. You know how they treat younger queens. Mm-hmm. 2, because they were TikTok famous and not, they haven't done any shows like the other drag queens. And 3, because they obviously come from some kind of money, and I just felt like they were just hating on them for things that were not their fault. Like it's not their fault that they just happened to do drag and were really good at it. They're talented. I just wanted to see more of them. I like them, but I like in the end the queens, especially Mistress, embraced them, and they were able to have a positive exit. Well, at least Sugar was able to have a positive exit. So, but I think they could have kept them together for a longer time, in my opinion. But I love them. I love me some Sugar and Spice. Sophie says Brianna is annoying. I wonder whether Christina will be the next Bachelorette. Listen, it's Brianna's crown to lose. It's Brianna's crown to lose. Yolandi said Aurora's dress saved her on the Snatch Game runway. Absolutely. Aurora has nice outfits. She has nice outfits. And she looks beautiful, right? She's a Filipino queen. I'm not shocked. The Filipina drag scene is insane. It's insane. I absolutely want to go to the Philippines just for the drag scene. Just for the drag scene. I will spend my whole vacation in Boys Town just seeing drag shows. So I'm not shocked, but there's other aspects of being a Drag Race all-star that I just don't see from her. And I think that there are queens that got cut over her, and I don't know why. I don't know why. They don't. Yeah, the younger ones do not pad. They do not pad. No hips, no boobs, no nothing. And I'm like, I get what you're trying to do, because there are women who do not have the, exaggerated hips and the super snatch waist and the boobs or like small chest. I get that, right? But Rue and Michelle keep on trying to tell the queens, this is female illusion and exaggeration, right? So you're exaggerating a woman's body. You're exaggerating how a woman does her hair and makeup. It's an exaggeration. It's an art where you exaggerate the female form, and they're just not doing that. And it's coming off as lazy and not, a new form of drag. And I don't know. I just feel like as long as Rue and Michelle are judging this show, y'all need to listen to them and pad your body and cinch in that waist, because the queens that don't do that do not last. Hey, Cynthia. Cynthia said Sugar and Spice were bad at Snatch Game. It would have been good to see them lean into the twin thing. They could have played with each other more. They could have done way better. Absolutely. With the people they picked, I was just like, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. They could have been, Drew would have loved it, but they're far too young to know this reference. They could have played Betty Davis and her sister from Baby Jane. They could have did that. It would have killed. Rue would have ate that up. But they're far too young to understand that reference. And listen, youth absolutely helps you, but it also is a deterrent, because there's just so much that you don't know yet, which is why a queen like Sasha is going to win this challenge, because that wisdom, the wisdom that she has, she is a seasoned queen, that is taking her so much farther than the other queens, because she knows what to do. If ain't nobody else playing this game, Sasha's playing the game, and she's going to win. Hey, Sean. Sean said, Mom here, and I have to regret. And I, too, have regrets on raising my kids in the suburbs, I guess, not around their people. It was cool pre-BLM life, but the benefits quickly faded soon thereafter. Yeah, listen, you did what you thought was right. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You did what you thought was right. Now you know. You know what I mean? And your kids love you for it. Don't worry, Sean. You did a good job. Hey, so Steph, glad you're here. Oh, the Snatch Game was terrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. The best thing about the Snatch Game was Lucy and how she played off of the other queens. But the Snatch Game was horrible. Horrible. Selena should not have been in the bottom. Absolutely not. Amethyst looked a mess. And she's been in the bottom so many times. But Selena didn't deserve that. She did not deserve that. Jax, this is the thing. Jax is a gymnast, right? So Jax's body already reads masculine. And so for Jax, I think Jax always gets points taken away for not cinching, for not padding, just showing up real rough, real CrossFit drag queen. Now, if Jax was a CrossFit, if Jax's character was a CrossFit drag queen, that would work. But Mama, you got to pad. You got to and when you have such a strong, masculine, muscular body, and then you have that little wig, it's not giving drag queen. It's not giving. It's giving drag king. Like
Ooh,
you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out.
drag king.
Well, Jax can sew. That's why I think Jax is around. Jax can sew, and Jax, is good at dancing and doing all of those flips and stuff. If Jax ever has to lip sync for her life, I feel like Jax is going to win just on all the acrobats alone. Unless Jax is going up against a queen who can feel that music and deliver that song in a way where it's like, oh my goodness, I'm getting chills. Jax is going to say from the acrobats alone. Well, see, this is the thing, so Steph. Jax is, I'm telling you, she is the dark horse of this competition because she's always safe and then sometimes she wins, but that's how the dark horse does, right? It's like, I'll win one challenge, right? But then I'll fade in the back and I'll stay safe. And then I'll win another challenge and then I'll fade in the back and stay safe. And the next thing you know, I'm in the top 4. I think that's where Lux is going to be. Yolande said Lux was giving that purple cape. Beautiful. Lux this is why Lux is so good. Lux knows what works for her body. She knows the design, the colors, the cinching. Really, really great with things that work for her body, her skin tone. Like she knows how to beat her face in a way to exaggerate the outfit. If you understand what I'm saying, like Lux has a certain way of doing makeup, but every outfit that makeup changes. A smart queen. A smart queen. Yes, I see that. I absolutely see that, Yolande. Lux gives me a bit of Naomi Smalls and Simone. I absolutely see that. Anitra shocked me. Shocked me. Shocked me. But you know what? She's a Vegas queen. You kind of have to be everything if you're going to be a Vegas queen. So I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. Land of performers. Ryan Round says Lux had a great runway last week, but in general, she's not my favorite. Simone was so much more likable. Yes, Lux has this pompous volley girl attitude with an annoying vocal fry. That's what works against her. That's what works against her. So I agree. Steph's, I think you're talking about Sasha, said she ought to win because if you are a legend and you come on this show, you need to slay. Yes, Sasha is giving legend. Sasha is giving icon. Like we've seen legends and icons come on this show and they have underperformed. Sasha is letting you know why she is, well known in the community. She delivers. She delivers. Oh, okay. So I guess Kylie was the first trans woman who won Drag Race. Okay.
They will fact check.
Yes, they will. Okay, so Sasha would be the second. Thank you, Nakia, for the supportive comment. Thank you. My mom says the older queens were threatened by Sugar and Spice's youth and fame. And I agree. I agree. D. Whitman said, I think Baby Jane might have been referenced on the show already, too. Oh, really? Okay. I don't know who did that, but yeah. But they would have done it anyway. They would not know who that was, but they could have just played on so many other twins. They could have been Siegfried and Roy. They could have killed a Siegfried and Roy. I don't know why they didn't do it. Hey, Cynthia. Cynthia said, I agree. Sasha Colby is a winner. Yeah, she's winning this season. Sasha Colby's winning this season. Jazzy Boo said, I wish Jax would pad a little to balance out the wide shoulders. Me too. But Jax just won't do it. And Michelle calls out Jax every runway, and Jax will not do it. Girl, Yolanda said, man, Sugar and Spice could have played both characters from Hannah Montana. Yes, or played the damn Powerpuff Girl. Look at us, giving us all of these things, but they don't know. They don't know. That would have worked. That would have worked. Blue Jay said, who is your favorite drag queen, favorite season, and what do you like most in your drag queens? My favorite drag queen is Bob. My favorite, Bob is just so talented. Like, Bob was just doing stuff that just had me gag. My favorite season is season 4. Season 4 was crazy, but I also loved Drag Race. I think it was season 3. 3 and 4 are my favorite, but I think 3 is the one where they jumped, verbally jumped. Mimi, I'm first on Untucked. Do y'all remember that? It was so chaotic. It was so chaotic. It all went straight to hell after, I forget this queen's name at the moment, but where she told Mimi, I'm first, act a fool, girl, act a fool. And Mimi went crazy, and then you had to, come on, Teletubby, take us to mom. Ha! I'm acting. It was just so chaotic. But 3 and 4, in my opinion, had some of the best casting on Drag Race. But my favorite drag queen is Bob. I love Bob. We're going to end here with Yolande. Yolande said her jumping rope routine where she was still dressed like a minion was good. Yeah, the acrobatic stuff, Jax is going to kill. That's why I'm like, if anybody has to lip sync for their life against Jax, they're going home. Unless they are a queen that can eat down on just the words. I don't know. Listen, if it's Jax and Anitra, then Jax is going home. But after that, I'm not sure. But we've never seen Sasha lip sync for her life, and I don't think we ever will. I don't think we ever will. If anything, the show might make her lip sync for her life just once so it could throw the viewers off, but she's winning this show. She's winning this show. So Steph said, my favorite queen is Monet. Oh, yeah. She is shady, talented, sweet. I stand a kitty cat wig. Yeah. I like her too. Shangela. I don't have a sugar daddy paying for my drag. Sugar daddy. Oh, that was so good. Oh, I love Latrice. Latrice is one of my top favorite queens as well. Yeah, I love me some Latrice. All right, guys, we have been here for a while. Let me get out of here. Tomorrow is Friday. I have off tomorrow, so I'm going to do 2 lives tomorrow. I'll put them up later tonight, and we'll just spend all our time over there on Friday as well. Bianca is one of my tops too. If anything, it will be Bob, Latrice, and Bianca. Because, you know, after Jesus is a biscuit, let him sop you up. How could you not stand Latrice? But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do 2 lives. I'm figuring out what I'm going to talk about, but I know I'm absolutely going to talk about Salt Lake City and Married at First Sight because I'm finally caught up. I'm watching it with my sister, so she may give some commentary as well. But those are.
She missed this one.
She was watching it with me, and she was like, "Oh, she had a lot to say," so she may join me.
This one got a little sweet.
But yeah, we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to probably talk about some more shows and some hot topics. I just got to figure it out. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I've had a good time, as you can see. I stayed longer than I thought I would be. But thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for just being so patient while, you know, I do all my performances. I know the schedule is a little wonky right now, but we'll be back to normal next week, kind of, sort of, maybe. But anyway, love you, Star family. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Jesus is a biscuit.